Welcome, welcome. Well, we've got 113 people out there at the start of this meeting. That's wonderful. On behalf of the council and our Timpanogos district, we want to welcome everybody to Roundtable. I hope you're all hearing me okay. And we're excited to have everybody here tonight. We're going to first have an opening prayer, and we've asked Terry Richardson to offer that prayer for us. And then we've asked Steve Baugh to do the Scout Oath and Law. So if everybody will mute yourself while we do these two, that probably will work out best.
Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we're very thankful that we're able to come together tonight as professionals and volunteers supporting scouting in our different districts. We pray for health and strength for all our volunteers and wonderful families that are part of our program, and pray that we'll have thy spirit and guidance with us tonight as we learn new things through our roundtable. And we ask this in the name of thy Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Invite everyone to make the Scout sign. Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Scout law. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. 2.
Okay, thank you for that, and thank you for all your participation. What we're going to do right now is invite you to go into your district rooms to receive information about each of your district activities for the coming period of time. We've allotted 7 minutes of time for this to happen. And then you'll come back here and we'll go through a couple more administrative responsibilities that we have before we go into roundtables. Okay, welcome back, everybody. The poll is out there, so if you see it, go ahead and put your name and troop number and district name in there so we can get a good roll from everybody. I'm going to share my screen with you. You should be seeing the food safety moment. And that's to remind us of to take care of our food this summer when we're on camp and outdoor activities. Make sure we are clean, and that is something that BSA wants us to be alert of at this time of the year. So in your invitation, this document was included in that, and if you need to get it, you can go there and down click it. It's also available out on the scouting website. And then our hot topic for the month of April is the Scouting Journey to Excellence reports. They've got some new ones out that you can download and have explanations for Cubs and for scouting, venturing. And so that's one of the things that we want you to be able to do, is score yourself on your journey to excellence and help the kids to do better. Is Rick Barnes available? Oh, I can see him.
Yes,
we're gonna turn 2 minutes over to you to talk about family camp.
Okay, Scouters, we got something exciting going on. It's something new. We are doing a family adventure at Camp Typee, July 11th through the 16th. And there will be 2 3-day sessions. Okay. We're looking for 150 participants per session, and this is for families. Okay. It's a still of a deal. It's $65 per person, And we've got a program from 0 to 99 for all ages. So we have different program groups set up for all ages. Our theme is Pioneering the West. We've got wonderful campsites with pavilions and water. You'll be able to park a vehicle in your campsite. We'll be doing dining hall feeding. We've got flushers and showers and an Olympic-sized pool. Our program will be handicraft, nature, rifle, archery, swimming, low cope, high cope for those in that age. We'll also be doing introduction to outdoor leadership skills for any adults that want to do that. So we've got a group of permanent staff plus 25 volunteers that will be helping us. So for more information, if you'll go to the council website and go to Family Adventures, go to Typee, we have our flyer there. We have our family guidebook and other information. So that's where you want to go to take a look. Our second session is starting to fill up a little bit, but we still need folks for our first session. So share this information with your families and your packs and troops. Again, this is Family Adventure at Camp Typee. All right, Central Utah, east of Mount Pleasant.
Thank you. Maddie Mayfield is going to give us a membership moment.
Yep. Thanks, Stuart.
Thank you.
Giving membership in units at healthy levels is a top priority for the council. So each month in our district, we offer a quick tip to help your unit achieve its recruiting goals. This month's tip is sharing. Did you know that most scouts joined because of someone they know? It's true. That's why sharing the news about scouting is so important. Two great examples are scouts sharing their fun experiences with their friends and parents sharing their support for the program with the parents of their scouts friends. But sharing goes beyond that. Does your unit have a Facebook page or social media account? If you do, that's great. Ask your leaders and parents to share the unit's posts on their own pages. It will expand your reach exponentially. Did your scouts have a great experience at camp or another event? A great experience can be turned into a testimonial, which can be shared in any number of ways, from flyers to social media. This month, focus on how you can maximize your efforts to share the news about scouting. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Membership is an important part of scouting. A couple of just quick reminders. The fundraiser for beef jerky is going on right now. If you're not involved in that, you need to look up some things to find out how to be involved. We want to remind everybody to make sure their youth protection is always up to date. We're getting through some people who are starting to expire, and we need to encourage them to make sure that youth protection stays up to date. And then there's some training opportunities. I got a notice for Leave No Trace on May 13th and 14th. It's advancement training or training that's makes it so you can teach and leave no trace. So we want to make you aware of that. With that said, we're about ready to go to our breakout rooms for training. We've got a Scouts BSA room. We've got a Cub Scout room. We've got committee room and a venturing room. Thanks for being here tonight.
My name is Jim Stanton. I'm the Roundtable Commissioner for the Timpanogos District. So I want to welcome everyone here today for Roundtable. I know that we'll have a few more joining us. Kind of to guide our discussion today, I prepared a PowerPoint presentation just with some questions and some stuff. So I'm going to share my screen as soon as I get my cursor in the right spot.
James, this is Robert Hendrickson. Can I make a quick announcement?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to let all of the scout leaders know that during the summer here, the archery range and the rifle range up at Camp Tracy are going to be open for open shoot and for the Rifle Merit Badge. And you can find out information by going to utahscouts.org/Tracy Range.
Okay, thank you. So,
Hey, Jim, this is Tony Woodard. Can I interject for just one moment as well?
yeah, go ahead.
I want to remind everybody that recruiting for the World Scout Jamboree is still very much open and active. There were rumors that the Jamboree might get postponed. Those are false. And we do have scouts from our council, but we have definitely many slots open for other scouts from our council, and we'd love to get at least a full patrol representation from Utah.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Tony. Tony, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, cool. So welcome, everyone. I want to be able to take notes on this too. So as I curse back and forth.
The problem is I'm not a part of Timpanogos district.
Still could proudly come. Real briefly, trail bits. I would have liked to post this in the chat for you, but I wasn't able to do that. If you can do that, Michael from Troop 5, do it. Anyway, just we're going to be talking about camping tonight. And this just kind of reminds you that sometimes it's good to do a little shakedown in the backyard. And so there's some tips here. You know, one, look at your sleep system. You know, I like what it says, air out the sleep bag from the Klondike Derby, and inspect your air mattress for leaks, because that last thing you want to do is get out on the trail and not have a comfortable bed. Why the backyard? Well, it's a safe, see if everything's working. And if it's not working, you can always go back inside and sleep in your bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and just kind of refresher, you know, it's a perfect time to look at your tents and just inspect it for, you know, wear and tear. Look at the rain cloths, the ground cloths, review how to set it up, take it down with the kids. They can do that. And get everything organized. Also, it says review, leave no trace principles. So leave no trace principles. As we're talking about camping, and this I think is extremely important, that we review these with our scouts and even as leaders. You know, the first thing up there is to plan ahead and prepare. You know where we're going, know what kind of things we're going to encounter, and make sure that we have what we need for where we're going. The number 2, travel and camp on durable surfaces. And I think about so much of Utah that there's a lot of fragile landscaping, especially when we get into the deserts and stuff like that. And we don't want to be destructive. We want to protect the environment. So, you know, be careful where we're going, stay on the trail and stuff like that. Dispose of waste properly. The old adage, pack it in, pack it out. And I think as scouts, should take it one step further. We should take an extra trash bag and clean up the trash that other people left and take that out. So when it says leave what you find, I guess the only thing I wouldn't apply that to is the trash, but everything else, you know, we want to leave everything there untouched so that others can come and enjoy the same thing. The 5th one there was minimize campfire impacts. And a lot of times, especially when we're backpacking, we're taking our backpacker stoves, and so there's little need to build an actual campfire. Although campfires, there's something magical about fire. I can't deny it. I've got my fireplace going right now in my house, but kids love a campfire, but it's best if we can minimize the impact on that and use old fireplaces and whatever there is. Respect the wildlife. And I think that goes without saying, then be considerate of other visitors. So, and I know there's a whole training on that, but I just wanted to briefly cover that we should always keep these things in mind when we're taking scouts out camping. So I got 2 questions here. And part of a roundtable is that everybody gets to have input. And so tonight's no difference. I'm going to be looking for input from everybody. So I'm going to leave this. What are some things that make for a great scout camp out? I have one for backpacking, but when you're car camping, what are some things that make a great camp out? So I'll leave that open. Who wants to go? Just make sure you unmute yourself.
A good activity planned for that camp out.
Okay.
Flush toilets.
I agree, man. It's one thing you got to know about.
Good run-ons.
Happen very often.
I think it's important that you're doing an activity that the scouts have chosen, that they want to do. The more that they've planned it, the more they're invested, the more fun they're going to have.
You
Okay.
have a plan with your patrols on setup, then everybody gets out of their vehicles and immediately starts setting up the kitchen and everything else. And it just goes a lot more smoothly.
In contrast to backpacking campouts, obviously the car camping campouts are the ones where you'll want to bring the heavy cast iron with you, like for Dutch oven cooking, making pizzas in Dutch ovens, whatever the boys have planned. But just in contrast to backpacking.
You also want to make sure you have a backup plan in case anything happens with the primary plan so that you're not caught flat-footed.
It's boys and girls. Don't forget that.
Oh boy. Okay. Anything else anyone wants to add?
Yes. Get good run-ons or skits or songs.
Oh, skits and songs. Okay. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay. So those are some great ideas. So, and then on the next slide here, what makes for a great scout camp out when backpacking? Because it's a little bit different.
Know the skill level of your scouts.
Okay.
Directions and know where you're going very clearly, and be sure that you have the appropriate permission to be where you are.
Hydration.
What was that?
Hydration. Backpacking and hydration always seem to be critical.
Okay.
Speaking for myself, you should know the skill level of your adult leaders as well. We think we're invincible, but I'm starting to get old enough to realize that I might not be.
You want to also truly emphasize buddy system and make sure they stick with it, because one youth or one adult by themselves will get lost. You're almost guaranteed, because they may go the wrong way, and that's not a fun camp out. It happened to a neighbor of mine several years ago on Kings Peak.
You don't want to be lost up on Kings Peak.
Interesting enough, he's the guy that helped the searchers find camp because he knew exactly where he was going, and they got lost.
Wow.
I think
Okay.
well-trained youth leaders.
Anything else that someone wants to add?
One of the big
Tree types.
Know your location and
Okay.
weather.
Along with know your location, you've got to know the rules of where you're going. I had some of my own sons taken down to Coyote Gulch, and the people who took them were not aware of the pack it in, pack it out requirements for all of their duties, and so they almost got a ticket.
Hey,
I think what most people, there are too many leaders fail to do is knowing what their boys need and then making sure that when they finish the camp out, that they get credit for doing those things that they need for advancement.
okay.
Don't forget about
If Johnny
reminding.
cooks, then you make sure Johnny cooks on that camp out.
Also make sure that somebody back home knows your itinerary. And stick to your itinerary.
I didn't spell that correctly.
Make sure you got the proper forms with you, not only for out of council, the insurance policies, but also your health forms in case of an incident.
Okay, so that all makes for great things. And I realize that we could probably go on, but I want to move on. And those are some great ideas. So what I really want to get from everybody, since we're on a council-wide level, I've got the state of Utah kind of split up. And I want you to think, where are some great places to go camping with scouts? Where is it located? What makes it a great place? Is there a cost involved? What activities can you do? Are there restrooms and water? Because I know in the car camping, we always want the flush toilets and the water. And how large a group can you camp there? So as you're thinking about that, I've got a slide for each section of the state. So I've kind of got Utah. I found this map, and so I kind of use this. But if we're looking out here in western Utah, it's kind of everything west of I-15, partially the West Desert. We have the Wasatch Front, which goes from Logan down to Provo. We got northeastern Utah, which is over by Vernal, Duchesne, clear down in here to Price. We got central Utah, which down Millard County, Beaver, some of those places. Dixie down by Cedar and St. George. And then we got Canyonlands, which is Moab, Capitol Reef, all the national parks. So I've kind of I realize that you're not going to have places to camp in every section of the state, but as we're looking at western Utah and sort of where this area is at, and I realize there's not definitive boundaries, but where would be some places you've been camping or might be a good place to go camping in western Utah? Does anyone have any ideas or suggestions?
We've been to White Rocks several times, and it doesn't have any facilities, but as long as you bring your own stuff, we actually do a rocket launch out there, and the kids love it. And it's got some beautiful scenery.
Where is White Rocks at?
So you go out west past Tooele, and you take one of the exits just on the other side of the mountain range past Tooele into Skull Valley. And then you drive about 30 miles out on dirt roads, but the roads are all very well maintained, and I've never had any troubles.
Okay. So that's from, I'm going to put Joanne. Thank you, Joanne.
Yep.
One of the things that will help you in the Western desert is to look at BLM website. They'll provide you information about a lot of the dispersed areas and so forth out in those areas.
Another spot out there is Simpson Springs on the Pony Express Trail.
Yep.
Haven't been there for quite a while, but so I'm not sure what it still has as far as facilities go. But it's a very interesting historical place. I know when I was there, they actually had one of the old express stations was still there with a plaque outside. But it's been a very long time since I've been there, and somebody's probably been there before I have.
We've actually been out there too. And this is where I got my medal for Pony Express Trail. You just do a 10-mile bike ride out there.
So there's the Rockhound area out by Delta.
Topaz Mountain.
And Topaz, yeah. That's a good area for scouts. They can bang on the rocks all they want. That's okay.
If you contact the Golden Spike.
Yep, Golden Spike and Promontory out that way is great.
They will, if you do service at the Golden Spike, it's not a recreational area. I can't remember what it's called anymore. They have a campsite for you to use.
The same holds true for Wendover Air Force Base. If you do some service out there, they give you a tour and let you camp. I believe it was for free.
Could do, yeah.
Another spot out there is Grantsville Reservoir. Flush bathrooms, picnic tables. It's a nice car camp, and there's fishing within walking distance, and crawdads if you want to go crawdad fishing.
Hey, crawdads are good.
But if you cook them, make sure you remember you're a bit higher up, so you got to have something to keep the pressure in, so they cook a bit faster, or they won't cook for a very long time.
You got to have butter to dip them in.
That's right.
Okay, so let's look at.
If you come down,
Hopefully, we'll get through the state. If we're looking at the Wasatch Front,
everything.
where are some places here in the Wasatch Front that are, and this is kind of the really populated area of Utah, I realize. Any great places that are fun to go camping there?
Willow Park in Lehigh.
Yes, very good. I think reservations open middle of April. Small groups to large groups.
Really close, flush toilets, water.
Same is true for Bountiful Ponds.
Bountiful Pond, you cannot camp at Bountiful Pond. There's a no camping sign there.
Yes. Well,
excuse me. It seems that all of the references that are being made are for fun weekends, not advancement. Why aren't all of these camps designed to help the boys advance in their requirements?
Because it's not all about advancement.
Yes, it is.
There's 8 methods of scouting.
So
you'll find it's all about advancement when they're 16 and 17 and trying to complete their Eagle.
Right.
Well, they need camping nights for advancement.
I think every camp can include advancement if you have a well-planned camp.
If you plan it right, actually, they'll be having fun and not know that they're passing off requirements.
I believe they're
you want them to
designed.
work together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, we'll do orienteering, we do cooking, we do checking off, picking your campsite. I mean, all that stuff can happen at any of these places.
Well,
It doesn't have to be a
passes
week-long
off
camp.
citizenship for nation, you have to visit a historical site. So all those things count for merit badges. You just have to.
And also,
20 days for camping merit badge.
if you coordinate with the management of Bountiful Ponds, it was specifically set aside for scouts to go camping there. So the general public cannot camp there. That's why those signs are there.
Oh, thank
But
you.
we go camping there at least once a year.
Where is Bountiful, hey, Tony? Where's Bountiful Pond at? Is it in Bountiful?
next to the dump.
What's that?
It's a reclaimed landfill next to the dump up by right off Legacy Parkway.
You can,
It's west of Legacy.
You have to call ahead of time and coordinate, because they'll give you a key to the gate, and so that you can get in and out and camp.
Okay.
Anderson Park and
Scouts.
Pleasant Grove is in a similar situation. Scouts can camp there or get it for free from Pleasant Grove City. Yeah, they have a great pavilion and amphitheater and plenty of place for scouts to camp. It's right in the middle.
Where's
of
that
Pleasant
at, Brad?
It's Anderson Park in Pleasant Grove.
Well, I got news.
It's like right in the middle of town. You drive up 200 South in Pleasant Grove, and you go past the high school, and it's just.
Okay. Who do you have to contact on that one?
City of Pleasant Grove.
I guess I may be out to lunch, but my experience over the last 57 years tells me that the boys have less and less time to do all that they need to do to make Eagle. So every camp that we designed, ever went to, every boy was assigned what he was supposed to do to advance. So we went to each camp with that specific in mind, is in addition to whatever fun could be done. So the problem that I'm seeing is, I mean, when you go to a non-council camp, you don't have the structure available to guarantee a boy's advancement.
Well, okay, let me make a comment. Tony, hang on.
Yeah.
Is it going to be girls, boys and girls? So therefore scouts?
Okay, so as we're looking at places to camp.
Yes, please.
So well, and I'm thinking of weekend campouts where we're going to be going overnight, or we might even be able to get 2 days in. It's wonderful if we can ever get 2 days in a row.
Thank you for the clarification.
Feasible, but at any camp, you know, when we're going, we should always be working towards advancement. Now, I'm not looking at week-long campouts, because week-long campouts are totally different than, you know, a weekend campout.
There's no difference.
Well, as far as, well, there is a difference, because on a week-long campout, you're going to have a different structure, but we're fun places to take the kids for just a weekend. You know,
why do you have a different structure?
Well, because typically when you go for summer camp, you will want to go to a council camp, or you may do something with a little bit more structure in it. And you're going to.
Why don't you do the same thing on a? Why don't you do the same thing on a weekend camp? Why don't you have a weekend camp structured
don't need to be
totally
spoon-fed
for
advancement.
advancement?
Well, you can still work on advancement even on the weekend camp. So we're just looking at places where we can go camping. And that's the main point of the discussion, is different places to go so that you're not always going to the same place.
I agree.
Down here in the south, we have all kinds of places to go. We go out on the Arizona Strip. We go to Enterprise Reservoir. We go to Kolob Reservoir. We go all over the place.
Okay, so you're down in St. George and Cedar City, right?
Right, St. George.
Okay, so you say Kolob Reservoir?
Kolob Reservoir. You got Enterprise Reservoir. You got, we have some that you have to stay on federal land in order to camp. For example, we've got a couple of little reservoirs that belong to Rocky Mountain Power. And because of people going in there and trashing them, they put it off limits for overnight camping. But there's still spots that are on federal land that you can camp overnight. And we do a lot of our overnight camping because, like I say, boys need those 20 days of camping, and only 7 counts towards the for long-term camping. It counts towards those 20 days.
But this gentleman has the
advantage
advantage of also doing tremendous community service among the Navajo Nation.
Yeah. Well,
so
and
a weekend camp to Bluff, for example, could be totally designed for a community service.
We're not talking, we're looking at,
We're not looking at fun. You're looking at service.
Well, you know,
service is fun.
all of our camps, like I say, they're normally in either parks and stuff. And what we're doing is, you know, you leave it better than the way you found it. So we always do a sweep of the camp area. We pick up around the area. We pick up other people's trash. And we, you know, instill that in the boys that you always leave it better than the way you found it.
Yes, that's right. No,
Okay.
no trace left.
So let's look other places down by Cedar City and St. George that you could go camping besides Kolob Reservoir and Enterprise
Why are
Reservoir.
you going that far?
So I
Okay,
don't know that,
Because
I
we
don't
have
know that I
people
should-
all over the state.
You got Navajo Lake, you got all kinds of places. If you want to get in scout camp, you got Beaver High Adventure. You got down on the Virgin River, you got the what they call it.
Quail Creek Scout Camp.
Yeah, Quail
I
Creek.
probably shouldn't mention that one because that's our favorite, one of our favorite places to go, and now everybody's going to start scheduling it. But
Let's do that, Grant.
Babylon.
Where's that?
Quail Creek Scout Camp. It's,
Where's that at?
It's right down by what's that reservoir? It's right by
Quail Creek.
Yeah, it's right by Quail Creek Reservoir. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's in central Utah, right?
No, it's down.
No, it's
Sorry, what
it's
just east of St. George.
that's like Gunnison. It's just probably 15 minutes outside of St. George.
What's the name of it again?
Quail Creek.
What?
Quail Creek.
Oh.
Quail Creek Scout Camp. It's one of the districts.
Oh, okay.
Scout camps. There's a nice lodge there, and they've got a kitchen you can cook breakfast in, and it's got bathrooms with showers and flush water toilets and everything. It's actually really nice. So, and the field to camp in is huge. Like if you had a big troop of 50 or 60 boys, you could easily, or boys and girls or scouts or whatever, you could easily fit them all in that field and still have leftover space. So
Okay. Great. Okay, let's go back up to central Utah. If we're looking at central Utah, we're kind of looking in this area here. So Coal Fort would be right here. You have Millard, Scipio, Sanpete County over here.
We love going to the lava tubes.
Yeah, the Fremont Indians is a great place. The Fremont Park.
Okay.
if you want to put in the sand, there's Little Sahara is in that area ish.
Yeah, it is.
Out by Delta. That one, I mean, that one doesn't
Little
have
Sahara's in western Utah.
doesn't have great
No,
facilities.
Little
but-
Sahara would be in central.
It's in
on
Utah
my map.
County.
Okay, I can see you kind of.
What about the Meadow lava tubes?
What?
The lava tubes in Meadow?
Oh,
I'm in central Utah. I'm in Ephraim. We've been there a lot. Be sure when you go, if they're going to swim in the lava tubes or in the hot pots, go in the morning rather than at night.
Yeah, that's the one that's a hike.
And don't go when you're on your way back from Quail Creek Scout Camp and it was 70 degrees. 70 degrees down in Quail Creek, and it was a snowstorm and blizzard like it was last year on our way back. It was. We went hiking in 75-degree weather in the morning, and by the time we got to those hot pots at like 2 in the afternoon, it was a literal blizzard. It was crazy.
I'm not sure if this qualifies or not because it's really close to being in the northeastern area, like you have lined out there. But the San Rafael Swell has all kinds of areas to go camping, including Goblin Valley.
yeah, and Goblin Valley would be really in northeast. Yeah, that'd be northeastern
I think
Utah.
it's right on on the 50 that you have on the map there.
Yeah, yeah, because it's Goblin Valley is about right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
We were down there 2 weeks ago.
okay. Did you camp at the campground or just camp on BLM ground?
There's some beautiful spots right on BLM land. They don't have the lovely hot showers that the state park has, but you know, they the campgrounds, the camp areas are wonderful for small groups or large groups.
Okay.
It's only one night. They can go without showering.
Yeah.
I guess my question would be, for all this camping outside of council camps, where are the national and local tour permits?
Well, every time you go on a camping trip, you should have a tour permit. If you don't need a national tour permit unless you go over 500 miles. And so, I mean, if you're looking at the state of Utah, you'll never need a national tour permit.
That's not true. That is not true.
Well, it's 500 miles and it's not even 500 miles from St. George to Logan.
It is more than 500 miles by road. Thank you. I've done it.
430 miles.
But the point I'm asking is, how do you justify doing an out of council camp in this state?
Because there's so many places to go camping besides the council camps.
I think you're going by an old guideline. I don't think you're current
there's-
with the tour permit requirements.
Yeah, they
Agreed.
did away with those quite a few years ago.
Let's keep working on camp locations.
Okay, so northeastern Utah, do you have any, Jeff?
Bacon Park.
What's that again?
Bacon Park.
Bacon Park? Was that, Tori, what was that again?
It was Bacon Park. It's a
And
council camp out here.
Where's that near?
It's near Vernal and Roosevelt.
It's probably a little bit north of White Rocks. We have our very own White Rocks out here.
Oh, okay. We already talked about White Rocks in the desert, so you're confusing me.
Yeah.
Orange is
Maybe
all
8 o'clock.
9 Mile Canyon.
Hmm.
Yeah. The trick with 9 Mile Canyon though is a lot of it's private property. They're very accommodating, but they have very specific rules.
They only have one place in the whole canyon, and it's a private campground.
Okay.
One place I like to take my scouts, it's locally referred to as the range study area. It's probably 10 miles north of Vernal on Highway 191, which is the Flaming Gorge Highway. And yeah, it's got 2 yurts that you could rent, but you'd have to hike to them. But we like to hike to them from the range study because that, the elevation gain passes off a camping merit badge requirement. So we like to go there. There's a vault toilet. I could probably spend 3 hours talking about all the places out here you can camp. There's BLM and Forest Service.
What areas are close to Dinosaur?
Well, there's Dinosaur National Monument itself, which has 2 campgrounds. It costs $20 a car and $15 a night per camping site.
2-minute warning, they're going to close this room and bring us all back in the main room.
Okay.
So one more up there is, I mean, everybody goes up to the Uintas to go backpacking, but there's also a lot of other campsites along the Mirror Lake Highway and up at Mirror Lake itself. So those are also some really fun and beautiful places to go camping, especially in the summer when you're looking for some place that's going to be a little bit cooler. So.
Okay. Sorry, I can't type that fast. The only place we really didn't get to talk about was down in Canyonlands. Real quick, anyone have any favorite spots down that area of the
Lake
state?
Powell.
Okay.
I'd love
Moab.
if somebody had other suggestions, but down by Moab, I'd love some other suggestions because the one place we found is that group campsite that's out along the river, west of Moab. But I haven't found a really good place down in Moab that's easily accessible and where you can go camping. Maybe I just don't know the BLM area is good enough down there, but I'd love some other ideas.
We've gone down the river there and camped at the Big Bend group site, which is on the opposite side of the road from by the river and the other campgrounds.
Yeah, that's the Big Bend group site. We've used that before too.
And that's pretty convenient down there. Not Big Bend, it's Big Bend with a D on the end of it.
Oh, sorry.
It's a bend of the river.
What about Wild Horse Canyon? Is that in Canyonlands or is that up closer to Goblin Valley?
That's right next to Goblin Valley.
Okay.
There's also state lands. There's state trust lands outside of Moab by the Moab airport. It's all primitive camping, but it's actually pretty accessible for kids doing mountain bike merit badges. You can do Gemini bridges and a bunch of places out there.
Okay.
It's also a bunch of places, primitive camping on the Colorado River down by the ghost town of Cisco.
Yes.
James, are you going to send this out to us?
I will do that. I'll try and figure out a way to get that posted, maybe on our
Okay.
homepage, and please excuse my typos as I'm trying to type as fast as I can. We got 31 seconds, so.
This is all recorded, so you're okay.
Oh, good. Well, I don't know, but I'll have them post this here. And because one thing I love about Roundtable, at least in our district, is that I feel it's a time for everyone to share. And each of us, there's always great places to go to take the scouts different places that they haven't been and give them